I'm sorry, but it's happened.
What has happened?
Once your ship was in orbit about our planet, it became a legitimate target. It has been classified destroyed. If possible, we shall spare your ship, Captain, but its passengers and crew are already dead.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
The Enterprise is on a mission to strike up diplomatic relations with the primary planet of a star cluster for the Federation. However, Emini 7 sends a message that the Enterprise is to leave immediately. The Federation diplomat they have aboard, Ambassador Fox, tells Kirk to ignore the message and get into orbit. The last time the Federation had been in contact with Emini 7, they had been engaged in war with a neighboring planet, Vindikar, and the last starship to travel there never came back. Kirk is like, I am this motherfucking close to disobeying a direct order, but he does it anyway. Kirk beams down with Spock and a small security team and is greeted by a woman named Mia 3, who takes them to one of the planet's leaders, Anan 7. He informs them that Emini 7 is still at war with Vindikar and has been for 500 years. Kirk and the boys, and one lady, are surprised to hear it since Emini 7 looks so peaceful from the outside. Suddenly an alarm sounds, signaling that Vindikar is attacking. Mia 3 claims that Vindikar has launched a successful strike right there in the city, even though everything seems perfectly fine. Regardless, Anan 7 says that 500,000 people have just been killed. Finally, Spock figures it out.
Computers, Captain. They fight their war with computers, totally.
So instead of dropping bombs, the two planets carry out their warfare virtually, and then the two sides tell each other to kill themselves. They basically invented Twitter. Anan says that in addition to the theoretical 500,000 deaths on the planet, the Enterprise and her entire crew have been marked as casualties and that everyone aboard must beam down and surrender themselves to be disintegrated, as to honor the rules of engagement.
First off, no.
Kirk and the landing party are held hostage by Anan as leverage to ensure that the Enterprise crew surrender themselves. Mia reveals that she has been declared among the dead, and that she is to report to the disintegration chambers before the 24 hours are over. Kirk, rightly so, is like, what are you all fucking insane? You just volunteer to die? Mia says that if Emini citizens refuse to surrender themselves, it would give Vindikar cause to start launching real weapons at them instead of just theoretical ones. Meanwhile, Anan tries to trick the Enterprise crew to beam down by imitating Kirk's voice and ordering everyone down for shore leave. Scotty and Bones are like, that's pretty sus, fam, and figure out that it's not really Kirk's voice. Back on the planet, Kirk and Spock have devised a plan to escape their captors, involving Spock mind-melding through a wall to get the guard outside to open the door for them. Why does Kirk look so turned on by this? Once the guard is knocked out, Kirk and the landing party sneak away. They catch Mia on her way to being disintegrated and stop her. Spock nerve pinches the guard by pulling the old look a spider trick.
Sir, there's a multi-legged creature crawling on your shoulder.
3 guesses as to where he learned that from. Kirk blows up the disintegration booth. In retaliation, Anan starts firing on the Enterprise, trying to forcibly blow up the crew since they won't beam down and surrender themselves. Luckily, the Enterprise is able to withstand the blasts. Scotty thinks about firing back with photon torpedoes, but Ambassador Fox orders him to take no action, still believing he can establish diplomatic ties with the Emini.
Diplomats. The best diplomat I know is a fully activated phaser bank.
Kirk gets Mia to reluctantly agree to help them stop the bloodshed, while Fox finally makes contact with Anan, who at this point is desperate to meet his death quota to keep Vindikar appeased. He tricks Fox into agreeing to beam down for diplomatic negotiations, as a ruse to get the Enterprise to lower its shields. Scotty, however, refuses to lower the screens, angering Fox, who threatens Scotty with a court-martial. According to IMDb, this is based on something that really happened in Doohan's own military career. Kirk enters Anan's quarters and demands Anan give back their communicators. Anan compares Kirk and Starfleet to himself and the citizens of Emini.
My first impression was correct. You are a barbarian. That is our joint heritage, is it not?
You don't seem to realize the risk you're taking. We don't make war with computers and herd the casualties into suicide stations. We make the real thing. I could destroy this planet.
Keep that sentiment in mind for later. Kirk makes Anan tell him where the communicators are and takes him with him for leverage. I love the little come hither signal Kirk makes. Sometimes Shatner is just so damn endearing as Kirk that I forget what an a-hole he is in real life. Unfortunately, 2 guards are waiting when Kirk and Anan emerge and get the jump on Kirk, knocking him out. Fox beams down, only for Anan to tell him immediately that he has to be executed. Wah, 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 wah.
You know, it seems like bad things are always happening to me.
The reason that bad things happen to you
is because you're a dumbass.
In the meantime, Spock and the others have managed to get their communicators back. Spock calls the ship and warns the crew against beaming down, then takes off to rescue Kirk and Fox.
What are you doing, Mr. Spock? Practicing a peculiar variety of diplomacy, sir.
You might even call it cowboy diplomacy. Anon, in a final desperate act, tells the Enterprise that if they don't start beaming down, Kirk and the landing party will be killed. In response, Kirk gives Scotty an order to destroy Amini R7 in 2 hours. Anon is shocked. Meanwhile, Vendikar is getting testy about Amini R not meeting its death quota, and Anon stresses to Kirk that he can stop all of this.
Stop it! I'm counting on it.
Spock finally finds Kirk, who by this point has Anon and his men at his mercy. Kirk destroys Amini R's war computers, automatically breaking the treaty. He explains that Amini R and Vendikar have made this war so comfortable and convenient that they've stopped trying to actually end it. So now he's put the two planets in a position where they absolutely have to cooperate or it'll be mutually assured destruction.
We're a killer species. It's instinctive.
We can admit that we're killers, but we're not going to kill today. That's all it takes. Knowing that we're not going to kill. Today.
Fox offers his services as a mediator, and the Enterprise leaves the two planets behind to sort out their problems, patting themselves on the back for a job well done.
Captain, you almost make me believe in luck.
Why, Mr. Spock? You almost make me believe in miracles.
What an entertaining little episode this is. It's nice to see Scotty getting some significant screen time, especially teaming up with Bones to command. I love seeing characters we don't normally see together interact on screen. Gives the Enterprise a real feeling of found family. One thing I haven't talked about much on this channel is the costumes in Star Trek, since most of the time all we see is Starfleet uniforms. Mia's outfit is one that always sticks in my mind. It looks like she's wearing black tights and a sort of Greek exomus fashioned out of a blanket. I get that the costuming department probably had a budget of like $3 and an egg salad sandwich, and they had to come up with outfit ideas that were supposed to look futuristic and otherworldly, but she looks like she's been dressed by a child. It's so awkward and cheap looking. Don't get it twisted, I love this look. I wish it was socially appropriate to dress like this, because I could totally see me going to the grocery store in a getup like this. We're in a Global Panda Express, who cares? The conflict between Amini R7 and Vendikar, the war that isn't a war, is an obvious allegory for the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. Both the US and the USSR were armed with nuclear weapons that both sides knew could easily wipe each other out should real warfare be enacted, so both sides avoided making the first move while remaining hostile for an over 40-year period. One thing I love about this episode is how it really shows off Kirk's brilliance when it comes to strategy, as well as his patented throwing the book out the window way of dealing with problems. The whole issue between Amini R and Vendikar is a no-win scenario, you might say. So Kirk rigs the game. He knows that the planets don't really want war, and he banks his whole plan on that. He manipulates this insane situation and drives it to the limit, forcing the warring planets into a corner. It's a precisely calculated strike. Kirk plays this whole episode like a game of chess, and it is deliciously devious. See, it's easy to see Anon as just totally evil here, but there's more going on than that. He enforced the disintegrations because he truly believes it's what's best for keeping the quote-unquote peace. I don't think it even occurs to him to try and reconcile relations with Vendikar, because after 500 years of conflict, being at war is simply a part of the culture. It takes an outside perspective to make both sides see that there's really no reason to carry on this war, and that they can just stop fighting at any time.
I'm glad you approve.
I do not approve. I understand.
I love that quote. That's all. No loftier explanation. It's just a really good quote. Speaks for itself. So to sum up, yeah, this is a really excellent episode. The sad thing is that really good episodes like this often get overlooked because people don't usually look deeper into the original series. Oh well. That's why I'm here.